Let's go. We got some news on this beautiful Easter Sunday intro.
Oh, we have our camera! Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
That's right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.
What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? We are live and we have some big Switch 2 news. What do the people need to do?
Make sure like in the slide.
Make sure to like and subscribe. What's up to everybody coming into the chat? What are you showing us? A wrist thing for Moana? All right. What's up, everybody coming into the chat, kids? Let me do some shout outs. Chris, Tech, Ed, Bowsette, Kiki, Logan, Murr, No Sag, OG at Dub City, Martin, Tony, and Gods. And Lake Show, we lit. Busted, Justin, Paid. We got to give everybody a shout out. What's up, everybody coming into the chat? Hey, hope y'all had a blessed, wonderful Easter, except for PlayStation fans. This is what I posted on Twitter. All right, we got to get to the news. But we just had some fun today. Hey, Red with the $2 super chat. Happy Easter, Obi-Wan plays. He is risen. Shout out to Red. I need everybody in the chat to show my guy Red some love. Let's spam Red in the chat. Hey, appreciate it, Red. Appreciate the support. Oh, I pushed return for you. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna do it again. Red, go ahead, bro. Enter. All right. This is what I posted on Twitter. Just for fun. We just had some fun. I said, everyone have a blessed Easter except PlayStation fans. Why? Because I'm that guy. All right. Yeah, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. We just had some fun with it. All right. What's up, everybody coming into the chat? We got some news to talk about. Nintendo continues to drop bombs that pick like 20 years. Nah, it's not that old, bro. Bro, I look the same. Chris, what you mean, bro? All right. Where are we starting? Oh yeah, we are doing a Switch 2 giveaway. A Switch 2 giveaway is happening for a lucky sponsor. May 29th is the date we'll be announcing the giveaway. Shout out to Murr, one of my sponsors, for sponsoring it. We're giving away a Switch 2 console, Mario Kart World bundle, and a 512 micro SD Express card. It's gonna be epic. Now, if you want to join a dope gaming community, links in the description. I'm gonna pop up on my gaming channel one day and just say what's up to everybody, just game hang out for a little bit. But when that Switch 2 launches, oh, y'all already know, we're gonna be gaming. But let's get to the news. The first news item, pretty dope. This is almost 2 items in one. A shout out first to Chris for mentioning this. Bro, Chris said, who's in the chat, he was watching the playoffs game, NBA playoffs, and there was an injury. And the announcer said, this injury report has been brought to you by Nintendo. No way. That means Nintendo is heavily marketing that Switch 2. And not just that, but I went to Nintendo's official YouTube channel and they dropped another one. We got to watch this real quick. A brand new Switch 2 commercial just dropped on Nintendo's YouTube channel. I got to react to it live. This is addition to the Paul Rud one that was yesterday with Now You're Playing with Power. She has her Easter eggs. Super Power. What's that, a caterpillar?
Caterpillar.
A caterpillar made her Easter eggs. All right, so let's check this out. I've never seen this. My live reaction, but I just think it's dope that Nintendo is promoting the Switch 2. So this looks like, and it's 30 seconds, so this looks like this is what's going to be their main commercial spot. If you're when you're watching something, this is what you might see on your TV or on YouTube. Switch 2. Let's go. Bro.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Let's go.
Joy-Con 2 controllers that attach in a snap.
In a snap.
And a big, vivid, high-def...
Bro, the first game they show is not Mario Kart? Hey, 31 likes, 9 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 40 likes. Y'all just, when y'all come in, keep giving the thumbs up. The first game shown in the Switch 2 official commercial is not Mario Kart, but Donkey Kong. Let's go. Hey, don't sleep on that Donkey Kong Bonanza, bro. That game's going to be lit month 2. All right, let's go.
Screen. Play games using each Joy-Con 2 as a mouse. Chat with friends and family.
They're promoting the mouse. This is concise. They're getting right to it. The mouse and the mic back-to-back game chat. Camera.
And see their faces while playing games.
Oh, they got to have that Mario Kart in there. Let's
All
go.
together, anytime, anywhere.
They
On
ended
Nintendo
it.
Switch 2.
Available June 5th, 2025. At this point, there's no turning back, Nintendo. There is no way they can change that June 5th date now because it's in everything. It's in their official commercial spots. It would be a nightmare if they try to delay it now. So I thought that was pretty dope. Nintendo has their foot on the gas and they are pushing the Switch 2. You know what I forgot to do? Everyone that says red, I forgot to give them a shout out. All right, everyone that said red when he gave the super chat: Bowsette, Paid, Panthorius, Martin, Murr, Lias, Kiki, Chris, Phil, all typed red. Ant, the chat was spamming red. Appreciate the super chat, red. All right, so I thought that's dope, and Nintendo's gonna have to do this. They're gonna have to go outside of just the non-gaming crowd and market it to a wide audience, because that's what Nintendo's known for. Yes, they're gonna have their core fans. They're gonna have hardcore gamers, and they're gonna have a lot of hardcore gamers now. The power of the system, third-party support is gonna go crazy this generation for the Switch 2, and this is going to be a console with longevity. This is going to be a console because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just going to be like the Switch 1. It's powerful now, but then 3 or 4 years, it's going to be underpowered. Nope. There's just been a report. Surprise, surprise. PlayStation is copying Nintendo once again. The PlayStation 6, they're going to have a home console PlayStation 6 and a portable PlayStation 6. And guess what the specs of the PlayStation 6 will be? Portable. It's going to be less powerful than a PlayStation 5, in the ballpark of the Xbox Series S. What system right now is less powerful than the PS5 in the ballpark of the Xbox Series S? Switch 2. That news in itself is great for Nintendo. That's going to extend third-party support for the entire generation. We're going to be getting the latest and greatest third-party games all gen on the Switch 2, thanks to Sony copying Nintendo. That's why I told everybody have a blessed Easter, except for PlayStation fans. All right, DLSS, Nintendo's secret weapon. We're going to talk about that Paid and that Cyberpunk. Hey, Digital Foundry, reputable site. They get stuff right, but they get it wrong, as we're going to see. Because when they first examined Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, they said it doesn't appear any DLSS is being used on any of these games in the direct. But even though Cyberpunk told them, I think they CD Projekt Red told them that it's using DLSS. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get to that. But hey, that DLSS is gonna have those games looking good, bro. And having the Switch 2 doing the impossible. All right. So this Switch 2 commercial ad, I thought this was dope. Nintendo's promoting the Switch 2 heavy, and we are here for it. All right. Bro. CNN interviewed Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo, and asked him about a brand new Mario game. His response is interesting. Has me to think. All this time I'm like, I think Nintendo's good for 2025. Really. I really think we're good for 2025. If Nintendo adds a new Mario game for this holiday, surprises us in June, here's what we got to think about. We're going to get another Switch 2 Nintendo Direct in the summer. Nintendo historically does some kind of big, and their biggest Direct is usually in June. Around June, July, their summer Directs have been their biggest because that's when E3 has been. That's when there's been E3. And even when E3 went dead, they still had their big presentations around June. Nintendo probably has another card close to their chest for June. Bro, it would be insane if we get a brand. Now, I'm sure Mario Wonder. But if they're going to do another Mario game, it's going to be 3D and not 2D. Here's my thing. I think they're good with Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game alone looks amazing. And it's a big 3D first-party Nintendo game. So I'm good with Donkey Kong Bonanza. But if Nintendo has Mario 3D this year, this is why I say we're good. And I said this before. We're going to average about one first-party Nintendo game every month. That's crazy. Nintendo's keeping up that pace from the Switch. At launch, Mario Kart World. That alone could carry the Switch 2 by itself for the whole year. Mario Kart World. Then they're hitting this again in July. Donkey Kong Bonanza. August, we'll probably get that Dragon Drive game, which is a lesser game. I'm still picking it up. But they're going to give third party the time to shine. Especially in September. There's a couple of third party games in September. There are some announcements in our September too. I forget off the top of my head. There was something in September. But they could do Hyrule Warriors. That Age of Imprisonment game. October, they can do Pokemon in October. November, Pokemon ZA. We still got that Kirby Air Riders game. That could be their December game. Even though I'm even saying December, they could just chill and reap the benefits in December because it's full-on holiday season. But they could even do the Kirby Air Riders game, which is confirmed for this year. In December, which I think that game could be delayed till early 2026 because we already have Mario Kart and we have a stacked first year already. Couple that with third party games. Madden is coming. 2K is coming. NBA 2K is coming. WWE is coming. Dude in my chat, Broken, is saying, man, we watching WrestleMania. He lying. He watching my channel right now, Broken. You watching right now. WWE. I low-key might get, not low-key, high-key, might get WWE this year on the Switch too, bro. Wrestling matches in the OGC, gonna go crazy if we all get it. Cyberpunk at launch. Final Fantasy VII coming. Assassin's Creed Shadows just got rated by the European ratings board. Now I know why Nintendo had that commercial harkening back to the Super Nintendo. Switch 2 is bringing back great first party and great third party support to Nintendo. Switch brought it back some, but I think we're going full blast Switch 2. Oh my goodness. Red with the $2 super chat. Yes, Red. Bro, I need everybody to spam Red in the chat. Metroid Prime 4, which is still my most anticipated game. How could I forget Metroid? How? Big Phil, Red, No Sag, Panthorus, Bowsette, Martin, Kiki, Peter, all type Red. Metroid Prime 4, that Kirby Star Wars cross game. We're gonna have GameCube games. Man, this is gonna be one of the best years to be a Nintendo gamer, bro. So many dope games. All right, so let's get to this news. This is coming from CNN.com. And it's always interesting to see how non-gaming outlets are reporting on Switch 2 and gaming stuff. So let's check this out. They're interviewing Doug Bowser, and I'm going to share my thoughts. CNN, Nintendo found what works, and it's not turning back. That statement right there, bro. A lot of people are like, it's just iterative. It's just an improved, better Switch. That's all Nintendo needed to do. Nintendo does not need to go out in left field right now, bro. They still got the momentum. The Switch had a solid year last year with exclusives and sales. That's all we wanted was a better Switch. We love the Switch. It was a great system. The biggest complaint for the Switch was it's underpowered. We want a more powerful Switch. And that's what Nintendo did. All right. That's the impression the company gave Panthorius with the $5 super chat. Dust Bloods is right. All right, first let me show Panthorius some love. Panthorius. Hey, somebody type Panthorius in the chat. Push enter, bro. Shout out to Panthorius with the $5 super chat. Dusk Bloods exclusive to the bro. I don't know if y'all understand how big of an announcement that was. Bowsette type Panthorius. Else is Panthorius. Martin, No Sag, Pan, Kiki, Big Phil. I think he was typing Panthorius. Bro, for Nintendo to have a major third-party studio from software, historically, PlayStation, for them to come onto a Nintendo presentation and announce a AAA exclusive to the Switch, that's a big statement, bro. That lets you know third-party support is going to be big on the Switch 2. Facts. Dusk Bloods. I'm getting that game just because of the principle of it. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm not just going to buy games just to buy games. We're going to play them games, bro. All right. That's the impression the company gave us last week when it introduced the Switch 2, which launches June. Oh, this isn't the article I'm looking at. But I got it. I'm going to pull it up right now. This isn't what I was looking at. This is it right here. This is from mynintendonews.com. The Nintendo Switch 2's launch lineup currently features a new Kirby Air Ride, new Donkey Kong, new Mario Kart, and more. Check this out. However, one thing that was absent that a lot of fans expected Nintendo to reveal in the Switch 2 Direct was a 3D Mario game. I think that was the right article, but this just gets right to the point. So it's not surprising the topic would eventually be brought up to Nintendo. CNN asked Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser about this very thing, Mario. When asked why there isn't a main Mario game on Switch 2, Bowser simply said, "Stay tuned. You know, we have a long catalog and a long list of intellectual property that I'm sure will make its way to the platform. The response isn't all that surprising, but may offer some hope to those who are hoping to get a successor to Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch 2 very soon." So he pretty much said, stay tuned, bro. We got a lot of games. And that's the thing. Nintendo needs to pace themselves out. I'm in the camp of don't release a new 3D Mario game this year. With the announcements you have already, with Donkey Kong Bonanza has filled that 3D platforming gap. We don't need a new Mario this year. We got Mario Kart. Mario Kart's going to sell systems this year. Year 2, who knows what Nintendo's going to be. There's going to be a big system seller in year 2. Whether it's Animal Crossing, I don't think it's going to be Smash, 3D Mario, whatever. Year 2 or 3, or even 4, hit us with a Mario. We got time. Nintendo has IPs, and they need to pace out, especially spread out their biggest hitters. Their biggest hitters, their system sellers. Spread those games out. All right. Bro, this next news item, we gotta talk about it. And the games and the quality of games coming to the Switch. When is GTA 6 supposed to be launching? GTA 6 release date. 2025? Wait, it said, holds another, like, Auto 6 fall 2020, which means it's hopefully due. So it's still coming out fall of this year? Bro, that's crazy. So I got to beat Cyberpunk. I'm glad this is going to be a launch game. Because this is going to be like just cruising around the city. This will give me my sort of GTA 6 feel. I think GTA 6 is definitely coming to the Switch too. But more information has been revealed about Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. This is coming from Eurogamer. They have to backtrack on some of the things they said. They originally said it didn't appear that this game was using DLSS. Now it's confirmed. Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch 2 uses DLSS, confirms CD Projekt Red. I heard some other stuff that this game is using ray tracing, or some of the game is using ray tracing. But let's get to the article and I'm gonna share my thoughts. And check this. Oh, this is crazy. NVIDIA's machine learning upscaler is used in both docked and handheld modes. I always thought that DLSS, 'cause I'm not a techie guy, but I thought that DLSS, this is something that has to be reserved for when it's in dock mode, because it takes processing power to have upscaling and all of that. Bro, DLSS is being used in this game in both docked and in handheld mode. Crazy stuff. Let's talk about it. One of the most ambitious titles lined up for the launch of the Switch 2, Cyberpunk 2077, has been showcased via work-in-progress code seen at the console's launch tour. And Nintendo and CD Projekt Red, they're confident with this game, because this game was available at the Switch 2 hands-on events. People were able to actually play this game. All right. Digital Foundry had the chance to go hands-on at the recent London event. And while our initial impressions are on the record, many questions remained unanswered. Is the port using NVIDIA's DLSS? CDPR has now confirmed that the answer is yes, making this the first known title to use the machine learning-based upscaling technology. Here's the direct quote. We're using a version of DLSS available for Nintendo Switch 2 hardware, powered by NVIDIA's Tensor cores. Let's go, the firm told us. The game utilizes DLSS in all 4 modes, in handheld and docked, and the performance and quality variations of each. I wonder what the quality and performance resolution and frame rates are, because we're going to have to choose one if we're going to play this game. All right. DLSS has been viewed as a magic bullet of sorts in the run-up to the Switch 2's unveiling. In a world where developers are pushing visual technology to the next level, running games at full native resolution with consistent performance becomes unviable. Surrendering at lower rendering resolutions is commonplace, with upscalers used to produce the final output image. These upscalers can range from basic bilinear scaling to more advanced techniques like TAA upscaling, where information from prior frames is fed into the current one to improve detail. DLSS is a form of TAA upscaling, but with a twist. And this is why those PS4 Switch 2 comparisons, Switch 2 about to blow it out the water, because technology like this wasn't available when the PlayStation 4 launched, like DLSS and all these more modern upscaling features. All right. By feeding the lower resolution frame along with history from prior frames and other data such as motion vectors, a neural network is then used to reconstruct the image. As the Switch 2's GPU includes machine learning tensor cores, there's no reason why any DLSS technology couldn't come to the Nintendo hybrid. The caveat being, there's still a computational cost to using it. All right. CD Projekt Red also confirmed that the current target for the Switch 2 version of the game is to offer different graphical modes, a quality and performance toggle for the handheld and dock versions when connected to a TV. There's the choice of a 30 frames per second quality mode and a 40 frames per second performance. We're going 40 frames. I'm gonna go the performance mode. Hey, but first let me see what the details are. Shout out to Panthorius again for another $5 chat. Don't forget Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws with new story DLC. I can't wait, Panthorius. Many good titles dropping for Switch 2. 3 to 4 days to go for pre-order. Yeah, the next thing we're hyped for, pre-order. We're gonna be locked, loaded, having everything, our accounts, everything ready. Make sure you're ready. Your address, your shipment, all that information, your payment information ready on every major website that you are trying to get this console on, bro. So be ready. Don't sleep. Be alert. All right. So, first, everybody who's spamming Panthorius, Dion, Big, Gold, No Sag, Square, Bowsette, Chariot, Kiki, Michael, and he said, whoa, Anthony, everybody's typing Panthorius. I gotta write Panthorius too. Show my guy some love. Hold on. Panthorius. Push enter, Brielle. Enter. Show my guy Panthorius some love. Oh, I didn't type it. All right. So, shout out to, I'm telling you, we got a lot of games and great games. She just got all kind of random stuff from her Easter egg thing. So we're going to go 40 frames. Let's see what these resolutions are. All right. Let's keep going. There's 40 frames per second performance mode. The latter would presumably operate only with the TV in 120 Hertz mode, a new frame rate for every 3 display refreshes, up against the 30 frames per second quality mode, which delivers a new frame for every other refresh. Lake Show with the $2 super chat. Hey, Lake Show, it just might be a camp out stream. I'm gonna be in VC that night, all night. Let's go. I need somebody to type Lake Show in the chat for the $5 super chat. Gold is typing Lake Show. Kiki, Anthony, Tony, No Sag, Paid, Chariot, Dion. Everybody is showing Lake Show some love, bro. Appreciate it, Lake Show. All right. Here it goes. More information. I like this stuff. All right. With consistent performance, both should look smooth, with the 40 frames per second mode sitting between 30 frames and 60 frames in terms of fluidity, and that's good. Both modes are using 1080p as the output resolution, with dynamic resolution scaling in effect in combination with DL. So if both modes are going to be 1080p, you might as well go 40 frames per second. So we're going to be playing this at 40 frames per second. The handheld mode, as things stands, is slightly different. Necessarily so, as system performance is lower. In this scenario, the quality mode is still outputting at 1080p image with DLSS and dynamic resolution scaling, again targeting 30 frames per second. Impressive. The performance mode in handheld sees the output resolution drop to 720p with the handheld screen in 120 hertz mode and 40 frames per second as a target. I might still do in handheld 720p 40 frames. Frame rates over everything, bro. That gameplay. So I think this is dope, considering how graphically intense this game is for the Switch 2, bro. And the mode that was demoed during the actual hands-on event, that mode was unplayable on the PlayStation 4. I think Digital Foundry was even saying that area in the city wasn't even included on last-gen versions of the game because they just couldn't handle it. But Nintendo purposely showed one of the most intense parts of the game, graphically intense parts of the game for people to play, which is impressive. And the hands-on version of the game was not the final version of the game. So I think this is dope. In terms of input resolutions, our initial pixel counts from the very, very short snippet of footage seen in the Nintendo Direct delivered readings from 540p to 1080p. And the fact that we could pixel count it at all made us doubt whether DLSS was in play at all. CD Projekt Red has also confirmed that scaling can range from 2x and upper per axis. So depending on GPU load, the DLSS upscaler will be fed with anything from 540p to 1080p in the 30 frames per second quality modes and the dot 40 frames per second performance mode. For the handheld iterations of the performance mode, the 2x and upscaling would suggest DRS between 360p and 720p depending on the GPU load. So those lower frame rates is what they're upscaling the final frame rates to. That's why DLSS is such a great, going to be a great asset for the Switch 2. The developers can have the games running natively in lower resolutions, but upscale it to still have the games looking good with great frame rate for us as gamers. All right. DLSS compatibility had been mentioned by Nintendo and Nvidia in previous PR, but its use in Cyberpunk 2077 in both handheld and dock configurations, for them to have it also in handheld is dope. It's our first confirmation of the technology being used in a launch title. I can't wait to play that with you guys live on stream. It's going to be crazy. However, that might be the first third-party game we play, bro. We're going to be on that Mario Kart. Then we got to do Cyberpunk live. We got to, bro. All right. However, we are seeing a slightly different utilization of DLSS compared to PC. There, it's typically the case that post-processing elements are rendered at the same output resolution. So if you're outputting 1080p from a 540p image, there are still components of the image that should be rendered at full 1080p. it may be the case that Cyberpunk 2077 is still rendering those post-processed components at input resolution instead, which may explain why we're able to see obvious stair-step edge images that make pixel counting possible. As you'll see in the DF Direct posted today, it does look to be the older convolutional neural network version of DLSS that's being used, not NVIDIA's freshly minted DLSS 4.0 transformer model. In our hands, on with Cyberpunk 2077 at the London event, our impression was that CDPR's work in progress code was recognizably Cyberpunk, but we encountered situation where it's apparent both the CPU and GPU were being overtaxed in some lurching drops to performance. However, the code was 7 weeks old, and at that point, with a good deal of development time remaining until the Switch 2 launch on June 5th, we view Cyberpunk 2077 as something of a benchmark game and can't wait to see the final code on the new console. But from the gameplay, I've watched gameplay of this game during different hands-on events, and the game is looking good on the Switch 2. So this is going to be our first game using DLSS for the Switch 2. Super hyped. This is going to be a day one buy. Definitely picking up this game. I said for third-party games, games that came out before the Switch 2 launch get a pass for the most part. So I'm going to be picking up big third-party games that are already out on the market. But if a new third-party game comes out and its launches after the Switch 2, let's say NBA, no, I'm not going to give that as an example. Let's say WWE, because I'm still getting NBA. WWE launches, and they launch the PlayStation and Xbox versions, and then the Switch 2 version comes out like 2 months later, I'm not picking it up. Day and date. And I don't think that we're going to have to worry about that too much. Switch 2 version of games should be launching at launch. All right, so this is dope. I thought this was a dope news item, bro. GameStop has just revealed new trade-in prices for your original Switch. And I think I saw this already, but this is a new article. Switch OLED, they're taking it for $175. OG Switches $125, and Switch Lites $100. That's half the price for the Switch Lite. That's not bad. So, but I think there's a cutoff date. I think it was Lake Show who posted in the chat. There's a cutoff date. Let me see. Is Trump tariffs hit pause on the Switch 2's rollout in the US? Panthorius with the $2 super chat. Don't forget Project 007, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and more, bro. That 007 game, day one buy on the Switch. Final Fantasy VII, I'm still in the cards to getting that day one. It depends now what other games are coming out around it. If that was a launch title, definitely day one. Playtendo Box says that 4:30, so the end of this month is the cutoff. Wow. Panthorius, Dion is typing Panthorius, Evil Panthorius, Big Phil Panthorius, Martin, Chariot Man, Dion, Kiki, Paid, all showing my guy Panthorius some love. So these are decent prices, and considering a lot of people are going to be trading in their current Switch for a Switch 2. So if the $450 price point is too steep for you, you can always trade in your current Switch and get $125 off. That's closer. So your Switch 2 will be closer to around $300, $325 to be exact. If you trade in your current Switch, you trade in your OLED, you are getting a good deal. Your Switch 2 is going to only be like $275, bro, for a Switch 2. Elden Ring, Elden Ring is at launch, right? Isn't Elden Ring a launch title? Picking up Elden Ring at launch, definitely. We are going to be gaming, bruh. All right. Those are all of the epic news items we had for today. You're keeping your old. Yeah, I'm keeping all my Switches. I'm keeping them for my kids to play on them. All right. What do you guys think about everything we talked about? Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things Nintendo. We out. Peace. Hey, kids, you gotta love them. All right, we out. Peace.
Oh, we have most ever. Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Obi-Wan plays.
That's right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.